one of the most difficult teachers to find in Kenya is a Kiswahili teacher.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. And
it's okay to speak English. We need to be comfortable with people speaking English with a broken accent. I think in Kenya, our English levels are very high. So I think it's okay to speak English with a different accent.
It is very okay.
I will politely disagree with Esther on that trusty part. And
we really truly have to be intentional, because you guys are talking about Douglas Okihuri. I think at one point in time, David Rudisha was the guy of Kiwi.
Yeah.
If you guys remember, right? He was. When you look at advertisement, those guys should be on the face of whatever it is.
Yeah.
I believe.
That's even before they blow up across the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Even before they decide to do whatever. Because remember, charity begins at home. As the English colloquial language says, gemishu magana moshie, sindio ajeri. Charity begins at home.
Yeah.
Right? So if you don't
I agree.
If you don't even teach your children how to discipline themselves, or if you don't do anything within the home, how are you going to send out your kids out there to be successful when you have not instilled anything in them? So we have to start from within. We have to start building from within. We have to make people fall in love with our runners. We have to make people fall in love with the sport. We should be having cash, whatever, like Mika said, like there has to be some sort of competition where it becomes, whoa, I want to be like that. How many kids here want to be baseball players? How many kids here in America want to be basketball players?
Wengi sana.
Okay, let's leave America. In Cuba, in the DR, in Puerto Rico, everyone wants to be a baseball player.
Yeah.
Right or wrong?
Right.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. If you're in Canada, it's like everyone wants to be a hockey player.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. Because they have made you fall in love with the sport. Not only that, there are people that those kids look up to. Everyone wants to be like LeBron. I want to be like Mike. I want to be like Wemby or whatever. Who can you say wants to be like Chebet?
That's right there. Who wants to be like Chebet?
Kiptum. Who wants to be like the GOAT? Who wants to be like Edna?
There you go.
Who?
And we're going to talk about that. I'm going to come to you and Jerry, some comments here that were coming in while we were having this conversation. Ruth is saying advertising, get them brand deals and you'll know them. Stephen JJ says TV deals. We grew up watching these guys kwa TV. And then Stephen JJ Father says hata Kenya Breweries Festival of Darts game shot.
Yes.
Sports ilikuwa kwa TV mbaya sana. I remember Alex Kavisi. There was a guy called Alex. I remember him totally. Yeah. Ilikuwa Alex Kavisi game shot. So
game shot.
Yes, and I remember ilikuwa ni Sami Lui who used to tangaza. And then there used to be this guy who would say, Kangede, you require 35. And that's something that I now vividly remember because it was always on TV.
Yeah.
And then Stephen JJ says, Yani haileti shangwe. And then Esther Mulusa says, no offense intended, but our runners are a bit rusty. Let them communicate in mother tongue, then we get translators. Let us dress them well and make them brand ambassadors who are always in our faces. This I will politely disagree with Esther on that trusty part, and I don't know, of course, Chebet, the one who won, he was, I think, third this year.
He was third.
Yeah, but he won the race last year.
I think last 2 years, right?
Last 2 years.
Yeah.
And he did his interview in Kiswahili, which is something that's very impressive. And I would love, for
the winner of this year, the Ethiopian guy, Lema.
Yeah, the Ethiopians do that too.
Yes.
The Ethiopians do that too. But then, I mean, it's okay to speak English. We need to be comfortable with people speaking English with a broken accent. I think in Kenya, our English levels are very high. So I think it's okay to speak English with a different accent.
It is very okay.
I personally have no problem with that.
Absolutely. Ali, do you have a twang? You don't have a twang.
No, me, I don't have a twang. Me, I have my Nairobi West accent.
Nonsense.
You know,
Watu wa Kenya wanakuambia kuna twang.
Tell him to say Google bird. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, carry on.
I mean, that's how we used to say it in Nairobi West. Kwani, how did you guys used to say it in Umoja too?
We didn't have Google bird.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uni mtu aonge man. Aliomoka.
Okay.
Aliomoka.
Kubaf.
Yeah. And then Stephen JJ says they can have a translator, and I think it would be good to, you know, like to bring those translators and have them as a standard feature there. But I think, you know, by any standards, an average English speaker in Kenya is above average almost any other part of the world they go. You know, like that's a reason why I think we have very interesting accents in Kenya. You know, like I personally, I'll say, you know, like I came and got comfortable with them when I came to the US. I mean, I was raised in Nairobi. Nairobi, there was this issue of uyu anashrab na uyu nini, which I think was not a good thing.
No, it was
It was
bad.
never a good thing. Yeah, but I came to appreciate, you know, like our diversity when I came out here.
We laugh at people who shrub Japanese. We'll like them, but we're going to make fun of people who shrub the same way.
I'm a people who shrub in French, like, oh my goodness, that's
So
a sexy
cute,
accent. I mean, come on. Anyway, that's a story for another day. You know, let's go back to Boston Marathon, to the dinner with champions, and back to you, Wanjeri. You know, maybe you can just maybe a comment or two on the conversation we've been having, but we want to know what you like most about the.
Hold on a minute.
Hi, Mika. Okay.
Before you move.
Yes.
Before you move, nilikuwa nimejimute na jaribu kujiunmute.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
On the topic you're talking about, well, when we see Argentina won the World Cup, Messi gave an interview in his native language.
Yeah.
When we see Italy won the World Cup, the Italians were speaking Italian. They didn't even bother to translate for them.
Mm-hmm.
Why do we want our Kenyans to speak for a language that's not theirs naturally? Why do we insist that you have to do an interview in English, or you have to speak a certain way of English? No. Whichever news station wants to interview you should look for a translator, pay that translator. You speak in the language that you're comfortable with so that you can articulate yourself, and whatever you're struggling to speak in that English, like people are telling you to sharpen yourself up, you're supposed to look good. And then when it comes to dressing, no. It is the learning that you're looking at them. How somebody decides to dress or how somebody decides to look, that is up to them. Okay. Not everybody is going to dress. You know, when LeBron na Dwayne Wade walikuwa navaa maskat,
walichapwa banta.
Yeah, no.
Hakujimwa interviews. They're still doing interviews in those skirts.
No, I agree with Mika 100%, but I think this also has to start from back home in Kenya. You know, like because we need to start popularizing our national language and our local languages.
100%.
Yeah, we need to start popularizing them. You know, one of the best things Moi did with 844 was make Kiswahili compulsory. For a lot of people who don't know, Kiswahili was not compulsory until 844 in the 80s. So a lot of people who went to school in the 70s, a lot of them did not do Kiswahili in school.
Cannot write a shairi for nothing. They don't know about Amba, Abacho.
Yeah, so I think even the level at where Kiswahili is right now in Kenya is still very low, you know, because it's still being taught as a foreign language. I think it can be upgraded a bit. You know, it can be upgraded
thoroughly.
It can be upgraded gradually.
I don't know, but zile ngeli zilikuwa zinanipiga tafash.
It can be upgraded gradually to get people who are professionally competent in Kiswahili.
Okay.
You know, like who are comfortable going and doing an interview about Boston Marathon Dinner with Champions in Kiswahili. That's a level where we need to get. It's not being taken seriously, but one of the highest paying jobs right now, you know, I have some family members who have schools. One of the most difficult teachers to find in Kenya is a Kiswahili teacher.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, and one who can actually
is a Kiswahili
put it
teacher.
together.
That's one of the most difficult teachers to find. So if you're a Kiswahili teacher, you're very high in demand.